It's here!
Searching. Target acquired. The portal will open in 3, 2, 1. Preparing to dispense product. Dispensing product. You are now in possession of the Aperture Science handheld
Vive
device.
Okay, so it finally arrived. Well, finally, I got it pretty soon, I think. A lot of people struggled with it. I'm really lucky. So yeah, the HTC Vive, designed in conjunction with Valve, absolutely delightful. I got it yesterday, played it for like 5 hours last night. I'm going to do a little video on it, but just play. Blew me away, absolutely blew me away. Now if you look back, I've done a lot of DK2 videos. Back in the day, this thing I was wearing in my little start video was my first like VR venture. It's kind of a modded Sony HMD helmet, and I did all this for ergonomics, track IR on it. Using NVIDIA 3D Vision kind of hack, you can play a lot of the games. Very narrow FOV, but pretty good fun. More recently I got this, it's like a Google Cardboard add-on, it's called Wearality or something. Uses Fresnel lenses, gives you supposedly 150 degree FOV. I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, so yeah, this probably been waiting 20 years for this. I originally tried VR in Earls Court in London 20 years ago, I think, and I've been hooked ever since. And I think this is really the first generation, although it feels like a second generation product, I would say, because they didn't just provide a headset with the tracking, the 6-axis tracking, which is really good. Yeah, give complete room tracking, but you can play it sat down. But you can also walk around whatever space you have, and a lot of the games even support that. And then they throw in the controllers, and these are completely tracked in every axis as well. There's 2 base stations you put into the corner of your rooms. I've just got them on shelves at the moment. I've not really put them hooked up, and they've worked delightful last night. I never had one problem, no judders, what people report of. These use the similar technology they brought on the Steam controller, so they have this trackpad. This is all I actually use for my TV. I've got a keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard here, and I've got a projector, so all I use is this for browsing. I use these they're like a little mouse simulation, if you will. I can play games on here, and brilliant. So they adopted that kind of tactile feedback and input on this pad. And you've also got a few buttons on there. You've got the trigger and you've got squeeze, which is more on the side than a trigger. But these are just fantastic, and I believe they have this configuration here, so it's like an array of sensors. So the conventional way Track IR would work, if people remember that, was that the camera would be sat like a webcam on your camera and it sees IR, and you would have reflective items on your head, or even in the end of the clip, which gave off a little IR LEDs. So that was more transmitting from the monitor. This is the other to receiving from reflection, so it receives back at the monitor. This is more, you've got these lighthouses, which are kind of dumb. They are Bluetooth for updating and whatnot, but they are kind of just, they have little motors in, I think, that spins around, sends out these IR signals, and the sensors on the controller and on the helmet pick that up. So somehow it does some super duper algorithms, calculates, triangulates, whatever, but it all seems to work fantastic. Now this room in here is, I've got a strange shape. It's like a square with a angle bisecting it where my couch is. So I draw that out and it gives you an ideal square. But funny enough, in the games it gives you the full space, or in the games I've played. So even though it says this is your square, this is your play area, it still lets me go to the perimeter that I've defined, the larger perimeter. Now I'm going to try and set this up in my bedroom, so I've got another computer in there, and I've got a smaller space, but it's more of a, if I'm going to try any like Unreal Engine editing, or if I want to play around where I want the computer there, and I'd be able to do a lot of work on that and then just put it on and test it. In here will be more for like leisurely friends over. And then downstairs, if you look back at my videos where I've got my head camera on and a tri-screen sim, I'm going to put it in there for like flying games and driving games just for the ergonomics, because I went and welded that simulator, the seats set up, wheel, flight controls. Even though I won't be using the screens, sadly, I'll have all the ergonomic benefit. And this will work too with the lighthouses in close proximity. So it's not just a room scale. It is also, you just put it like the sensors really close, and as long as they're not, I think like if you were pointing at the screens it might not be too good for a reflection, but as long as you keep it away from the screens and keep it so you can't block the signal. So if you get in the way of one lighthouse, the other one will cover that area, so it doesn't have any dead zones, if you will, wherever you're going to be. Now the headset, it's got the strap. Maybe one day I'll build the proper helmet for it, I don't know. But I found the comfort fantastic. You do get sweaty, but the games are fantastic. Like Hollow Point is absolutely brilliant. It's a very simple game, you're just shooting arrows and things are coming at you, but just can't explain it. The problem with VR, it's very difficult to explain the immersion you feel, and you just get lost. And I've been jumping around this room like an absolute nutter and getting sweaty. Now when you put it on, you still have like a little bit of tunnel vision, and you still have a little bit of, call it SDE, so it's the screen door effect. So it's like you're looking through a screen door, stopping text coming in, and you see those little edges. Now I think with the Fresnels it's a little bit better because it gives you like a more parallel light and then it reflects it, so you don't see the edges of the, looking at the screen at an angle like you would with a convex lens. I don't know, that's just in my head. Maybe it's a pseudo effect and it's nonsense. But the resolution, if you put it on and you look for it, you'll see it. But if you put it on and just start playing something, your brain just forgets about it. I mean, in real life, I don't think our eyes are that perfect. Our eyes are not as good as like high optic lenses, and our brains do a lot of filling in the gaps. And I think that works with this as well. Now they've made a compromise. Obviously, the resolution, they could have gone higher, but it kind of would have been pointless, because even with this resolution, which is, I think in the vertical it's 1.6 times the DK2, the Oculus DK2, but in the horizontal it's just the same, it's very similar. So they have gone a lot bigger in the vertical. That gives you a much vertical screen space, which obviously allows them to give you a much vertical FOV, but in the horizontal. So the resolution I think is somewhere in between, I can't remember the exact XY kind of resolution, but it's, I think it's in between 1080p and 1440p. So with our graphics cards now, you can render that quite easily, because we can render 4K on these 980 Ti's and 780 Ti's, 970s, but we have to do that above 90 frames per second. So it's not like your average or your maximum, doesn't really matter. You want to look at your minimum and say that wants to stay above 90 frames, otherwise it just messes the whole effect up. As soon as the frame rate starts to drop a lot, then your immersion just falls out and your brain just tells you, oh, this isn't real. So they're saying, I think like a 970 or a 780 Ti say is like the minimum, but I'm sure it depends on the game completely. Like always with games, you could have just an untextured blocky game which is brilliant, or a low textured game runs fantastic. But if you want like the super high graphics, you're gonna have to get them. Even the 980 Ti is probably not that good if you wanted to compare like with a AAA game we have now. Try and put that in VR, probably wouldn't be fast enough. So it is a future tech. So they've really compromised on the resolution of the screen, because it would have been pointless to go any higher. It would have cost more for the screens, it would have pushed the price up, and then nobody could have rendered it at that high anyway. And now we can do stuff like super sampling maybe when graphics cards get faster, until we get for the generation 2 of these headsets. What else can I really say about it? I mean, it's this just hooks around the back of your head. It comes with two face masks, and they're stuck on with Velcro, so you can just pull those off and you can wash them. There's already third-party guys doing covers for these, because you do get really sweaty in the games where you're jumping around like a crazy person. So it's nice to have a cover on there and you just throw it in the wash. And I'm sure you could wash these in warm soapy water, that's fine. There's no nose padding, which I was surprised about. There is a little thin plastic, rubber shield in there, but I think it's more for blocking light than anything else. And you can see my little ergonomic thing, I put like an earplug thing in there where my nose rests on it. Maybe I'll do something like that on here, I don't know. You really got to play with the ergonomic shit. It comes with the 2 controllers, 2 lighthouses, free wires for the headset, plugs into a little junction box they give you, and it's USB 2, HDMI, and then the power, and that's what it provides. And then I believe if you crack off the front of this, you'll get a USB socket in there too. So if you get the Leap Motion or anything like that, any add-ons that come out, maybe some glove add-ons, then you can just plug that in there, stick it on the front, and you don't need to route another cable for the USB. Also, what was I going to say? There's a headphone socket in here. So if you don't have your, I've been just using my surround sound for my TV, it's been great. But I do have a Sennheiser 363D headphones that are open. I like them because they're open, they're cool. They're brilliant. So I will be using those probably my simulator or in the other room. And you can just plug those in. What I would have liked to have, I don't know if there is one or not, is somewhere to plug a mic in. So if you did want to record in it, I believe it does have a mic, but it's not very good. Now the Sennheiser has a built-in double microphone boom on there. So that would have been nice to plug that. Maybe that's a mod in the future for me. It's also got a camera on here. And if you go on YouTube, you can search Tron mode Vive and you'll see people using that, and it gives you kind of a graphical overlay on a lot of the real world items. You can also, I've not done this yet, you can hold up on one of your controllers an actual picture of the image that it sees there. So if you just want to look at your keyboard, or the options for in-games are unlimited. I mean, this to me is like the Binatone, the kind of Atari 2600. We're starting all over again, and it is exciting if you do like games. It's brilliant to see all these developers, and they're like unknown developers. They're just coming out with wacky ideas. Absolutely brilliant. Let's jump into one game, and I don't know what the experience will be like, but just to finish this off, and we'll play maybe something from the Steam VR Lab, which was created by Valve, who I think designed a lot of this, and HTC did the production side and the sales, and sure they did a lot of the development so they could make it properly. Yeah, these guys are all excited to see me. They want to come and play. So, this is just fantastic. I mean, it's like I'm in this fort. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, yeah, I've already played this, so I know what I'm doing. Doesn't mean I'm really good. It's a shot. Should I? Try and shoot the balls for bonus points, I guess. Blues, the blue. Oh, that hit! Come on. Barrels, and also on the top there you've got pull wheels, and that sets fire to them. You can see how you can change the power of the arrow, and I can feel all this in the tactileness of the controllers. Wave 5 of 8. Always helps to take your time. sell the controllers because they're going to get broken quite easily. I keep smashing them into each other a lot, smashing into my helmet, touch my ceiling. That happens a lot. Trying to do a little jiggy then, a little dribble. Come on! This is fantastic, I love it so much. I can play this over and over again. Try to get the fire. He's dribbling. No! Absolutely fantastic. I love it so much. It's flame, shall we? Load of them. Shots. Oh! No, I missed! Oh, come on! Yes, we are victorious! Well guys, I'm going to do loads more videos I think on this. Leave comments if you think it's crap, it's good. If you think you're going to get it, you're going to wait till the next generation. I say, it's amazing, you just can't tell people what it's like. And yeah, it's a little bit early adopter, taking risks and whatnot, but it's fantastic. And yep, so live and let Vive. We don't know where we're going, but we're having